get as many points as you would have wanted, whether it's 6 games or 8 games or 10 games. You always tend to find your way out of it. Is that at all the messaging here, which is like, okay, this is our, like whether or not, whatever the reason is, this is sort of our lull period, and now we just have to finish the way we always finish.
I don't know if I would have said it like that.
I wasn't very eloquent.
I told him this morning, I said, we need the freaking points. I mean, we need to start switching on. I mean, we've got a game coming up against San Jose that is important because the Open Cup is something we've done traditionally well in. So whoever we put out on Wednesday has to understand these are the expectations. Then the game that gets out against Minnesota, these are the expectations. It's a home game. Get us on the right track. And then we've got, a couple of tough road games. Because Nagamura's done well with Houston. And, all road games are going to be hard. So, I mean, we're up against it again.
Speaking of the Open Cup, it's been a few years since you guys have made a real run in this. Is that something that you feel like is important for you to do, or do you not look at it kind of these bigger picture things?
No, it is. Tommy and I were talking about it on the field today. 2018, we lost to Portland in Cheney. And you guys correct me if I'm off. 2019, we lost to Sacramento. Okay? We didn't enjoy that, going out in the first round. Not against Portland. I think they had Blanco, Valeri, they had some starters in that group. Against Sacramento. Sacramento's a decent USL team. What did we have? I thought we had chances to put that game out of reach. So, yeah, it's been a while, and we want to try and correct it.
What would it be like playing at Starfire Stadium again?
Great.
Intimate environment.
Great. I mean, there were a lot of good memories there. A lot of good memories. I mean, I remember Ozzy scoring an important goal there. Christian, I think, had his first professional goal there.
Red card wedding.
Red card wedding. Okay, those are the bad moments. Andy's been involved. He wants to, put a good team out there. I mean, there's some momentum there.
Do you like having that intimacy of a kind of a smaller crowd sometimes that can kind of bring some more heat or do it in a little bit different way?
Well, traditionally that environment was good for us for a lot of different reasons. It gives the fans closer touch points. Players, it feels like a bigger game maybe because the crowd's packed in there. You had the beer garden, Marcus drinking the beer afterwards. I mean, lots of good memories, but it feels like an important event. So it is. So that's how we're going to approach it.
Just real quick, going back to this Dallas game, Leo, he's been trying to get some minutes. He misses the opportunity in front of goal. How do you, talk to a player like that so that confidence doesn't drop? And what were your thoughts on his overall performance in that Dallas game?
It was good. I mean, look, the defender made a good play. I was actually just, it's funny that you asked me that. Montero was standing next to Chu and Jimmy, and I asked Leo what he thought about that attempt. And Freddie and Jimmy had already talked to him about it. He slowed down just a little bit. I thought he could have dribbled around the goalkeeper. He said, yes, I wish I would have dribbled around. I mean, that's why I love this team. They do a lot of that coaching on their own.
When it comes to that Dallas game and coming from that high, like emotionally from everything that happened, was that at anything a factor? When you're coming from kind of this
subconsciously, yes, because the messaging to that group was clear. The group itself, you want to talk about psychology. We talked about, well, Dallas is going to look at the team sheet and maybe they're going to say, oh, well, guys aren't playing, so this is going to be easy. So actually, let's use that to our advantage. Let's actually come out and surprise them in the first 20 minutes. That was the message before the game. I thought the team was pretty good that we rolled out. I mean, Obed, Josh Densey, Nuhu, Jackson, Cleveland, Montero, Will, Chu. Again, I thought Ethan had a really good game. I mean, you know, it was a factor, but just by human nature.
Thinking long term and the massive things that JP did for this team overall, what has been your assessment on maybe how either collectively or individually you're going to try to fill that hole that he leaves?
We're going to continue to play true to who we are, what we try and accomplish, because look, we were missing Nico for large amounts of last year and early in the season. Raul the same. How do we get by with those two guys? Next guy has to step up. It's an opportunity for Obed and Josh and Danny, and see which one of those three can come out in the mix. You know, stand there with Adrian and Garth. Maybe there's a signing in the middle of the year. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, we're not in any rush. We're not in any panic mode. I mean, JP is a tremendous player. We will miss him. But the club, the collective, is always the strength. That's where it comes from.
What's Jordy's situation right now?
Jordy Delem, he's just going to get cleared. I don't know when they're going to send out the press release, but he's going to get cleared here very soon, or if not already, I don't know when it's going to come out. But he get medical clearance, and then we'll see.
Speaking of Ethan, it wasn't just his first appearance for you guys for a while, but he hasn't played in a competitive game for I don't know, 6 months or something. Was that? Do you judge him at all based on that sort of like that curve or
Expectations were here for Ethan. I think he exceeded my expectations. You know, we've played him here. You know, we haven't really, dialed that in. He was on loan. He broke his hand. All that sort of stuff. The kid performed.
And is this his? Do you feel like this is his position going forward? More
I don't know. I'm not going to rule him out as a winger in a 4-2-3-1. I'm not going to rule him out as a defender, wing back in a three-man back line. There were some, look, he played well, but there were some things he can improve on too, and Andy will take him with some film and they'll go over some of the individual stuff. On that goal, he needed to stay connected. Maybe he gets to Ferreira. Christian could have come back, could have had AB step. There was like four different coaching points when we took that goal, and that's where Ethan needs to learn.
Anything else?